A lot of guys have come into my DM to ask me, oh, because I posted a couple of properties on my page here. All right. Oh, I'm interested. How can I get one? Oh, I want this. Oh, I like this. I want to get one. My DM is already full to the brim. Guys, that is not how to go about it. I've done the video before and I've told you exactly what you need to do. The first step you need to take when you're trying to acquire a property, when you're trying to, get to the ladder. You understand? Seeing it by posting it, when I post it, it's you like it, you want it, how can I get it? That is not the way to go about it. It is possible for you to be walking on the street and you see a newly developed area, the properties are quite nice, you want one of them. Liking it doesn't mean you can own it. You can only own it after you run your eligibility check, after you run your the affordability checks. All right, I love Ferrari, I love to drive Ferrari, but I don't have the money. The fact that I see Ferrari, I like it, doesn't mean I own it already. I have to go through what it entails to have that Ferrari for me to be able to know if I can afford it. So seeing a property or seeing me posting properties on online here, and you just DM me, I love this property, how can I get one? I have told you the first thing you need to do, the first thing whatsoever you need to do is to get a mortgage broker. A mortgage broker who is going to assess you. A mortgage broker you're going to speak with. For example, if you are buying as a joint, if you are buying with your partner, both of you will need to speak to that mortgage advisor. And I've recommended Gled Hill Independent Mortgage Specialists for you. Call them, speak to them. That's the first thing you need to do, because you need to know how much a lender is willing to borrow you. If a lender is willing to borrow you £150,000, that is the price of the property you are going to buy. If a lender is willing to borrow you £150,000, you cannot go and start thinking of property worth 300,000. It doesn't work like that. So if you see a property, first of all, go and meet the mortgage broker. The mortgage broker is going to take your details, where you work, how much you own, how much in debt you are in, how much on credit card you're paying, do you have a car loan, all of those things, your details, everything put together. Then the mortgage broker will assist you to run what is called the checks, eligibility and affordability checks. And that's broker will come up with something we call AIP. I have done this video before. I don't know why people still keep coming to my DMs to ask me, how do I go about it? I want it. I have told you what you need to do. Now, after the broker had run that particular checks and come up with something we call AIP, agreement in principle, that agreement in principle will tell you specifically how much a lender wants to borrow you. All right. That does not mean that your mortgage is approved. Still, after the AIP is already out, then the mortgage broker will now ask if he should go ahead to file in the application for the mortgage. If I am a borrower, if I want to lend you money, so if you submit for example, if you submit your details to the mortgage broker, the mortgage broker comes up with something which is called the AIP, just like I said. Now, after which the application for the mortgage will be submitted. That is when the lender will now say, okay, I can now approve, I can now borrow you this amount of money. Okay, that is if the lender is going to borrow you 300,000, you are going to buy a property worth 300,000 or less. That's the first thing. Then that is when you cannot continue to say, okay, I have this AIP, I have this and that. This is the property price that I'm looking for. That is the amount I'm looking for. This is the area I'm going. That is exactly what you need to do. After which you now begin to think about your solicitor. You now begin to think about your property insurance and things like that. So all of these things are quite important. The first thing you need to do before you come into my DM is to make sure you speak to a mortgage broker to run your checks. Then you know what a lender, a specific lender, can borrow you. Please, I hope this video will go to one or two places. To those of you that are sending me messages here and there, I want this, how can I go about it? This video should answer your question. Please, it should answer your question, because I'm tired of saying get a mortgage broker, get a mortgage broker, get a mortgage broker. I kind of understand you guys. I'm not really pissed, you understand, but I'm trying to make sure that you get this piece of information right and correct.